I'll tell you what's cooking. First, I want to introduce you to somebody, though. She's been on Condé Nast's Best of list, cooked in the Top Chef Master's kitchen, and now a visit to the Calgary Stampede. Tomorrow night, Chef Jenn Louis will be collaborating with model milk chef Justin LeBeau for a spectacular 7-course dinner. But first, we've roped her into the BT kitchen for a special Stampede treat. We have Cowboy-Style Baked Beans. Welcome.
Thank you very much for having me.
Your first trip to the Calgary Stampede.
Super happy to be here.
What do you make of it so far?
It's beautiful. It's rooted in tradition. It's just very much North American. It's really fun to check out.
Well, really nice to have you here in the kitchen. I want to ask you first about your background, because you got into cooking a little bit later in life.
Yeah, I didn't really know that cooking was an option for a career. And I went to college, finished college, traveled around a little bit, and fell into a job cooking, and I loved it. It was the best I'd ever experienced.
When did you realize that you were really good at it?
You know, it's funny. It's one of those jobs that I always feel I've got a ton to learn. So I always feel like as much as you know, there's someone who knows more than you do, and there's more to learn. So I think about a few years ago, I started to feel pretty competent, and it's been more and more creative since.
And you have 2 internationally recognized restaurants in Portland.
I do.
Oregon.
Yeah.
Okay, so
It's pretty fun.
You're the real deal. And Top Chef Masters, how was that, having that kind of microscope on you?
It was really fun. I worked with some really just incredibly talented chefs. We all have so much in common, and just sitting around shooting the breeze all day long was pretty great.
Well, what I love is that you've gone full cowboy for us today, and you're going to make baked beans.
I am. So we're at the Stampede. What are we going to make? We're going to make beans. And this is something that's kind of interesting, because at home is the same, in a way, as cooking on the range. That you want to cook quickly,
yeah.
You want something delicious, and you don't want to take a lot of fuss, right?
I'm in.
Okay, so what I've got right here is molasses and some mustard, and I'm cooking those down together and kind of making a little bit of base for our beans. Then I'm going to add this. This is pimentone. It's smoked paprika. This is going to be my little game changer on this.
Okay.
And what that is it's from the Basque region of Spain. So the Basque region spans Spain and France, and it's smoked paprika. So I'm going to add another layer of my smokiness. I don't have the fire right now. If I was cooking these on the range, I'd be cooking them over fire. So I'm going to add a little bit of smoked paprika, which is going to give a little bit of depth, right? So right now I've got my sweet, I've got my smoky, and those are all things that everybody loves. And what I'm going to cook that down for a second, and meanwhile, I'm going to have you do something. So check this out.
Okay.
These are cloves.
Yep.
Cloves, if you bite into them when you're eating, not so good, right? Okay, so I'm going to have you take them, and we're going to push them just like this on the other side.
Oh, okay. On this
and
side.
that way, the onion can cook. The cloves are a little bit soft right now, and the onion can cook, but the cloves won't permeate into the rest of my food and get stuck in the rest of my food.
Come on, cloves, behave.
These are a little bit soft, so that's exactly what you want to do. And then we take the onion and we put it into our sauce, right? And as we cook the beans, the onion will cook, and it's going to be delicious, but then you can take the cloves out very easily.
Oh, amazing.
Great flavor, no fuss. All right, so then I'm taking some tomato, and tomato has a little acid in it and some sweetness, okay? And I'm going to cook that all down. I'm going to add my beans that I've been soaking overnight and my bacon, because, look at, I know, who doesn't like bacon? It's delicious.
Yes.
And here, you know what? If I was here, I'd probably use beef bacon, because we're in Alberta, right?
Yeah, well,
okay.
yes.
All right.
And you're using navy beans.
I am. I'm using little white navy beans.
And that's what that's, if you bought baked beans from a can, that's the kind of beans it is, right?
Yes, it would be. And these beans I've soaked overnight in water in the refrigerator. And the great thing about them is that they're going to have a shorter cooking time, because they've been absorbing that water all night long. Okay? So this is where we're going to start. I'm going to add a little more water. And if I had an oven, I would go directly into my 300-degree oven.
Okay.
Okay? And I'd cook these for about, 40 to 60 minutes, depending on, at 300 degrees. Your ovens are at Fahrenheit, right?
My kingdom for an oven. Yeah, we still understand Fahrenheit a little bit here. So.
Okay, so I would bring this up to a simmer, throw it in a pan, and then I'd make my pan generally look like this. And when they're all done, they come out, and they've got that sweet, they've got the smoky. You can smell them, right? You've got all of those flavors, it smells so savory, and it's kind of a complete dish. So if you're cooking over a fire and you have nothing else, this is a quick a meal where you set up your camp.
Now, Jen, I have to
And
ask you about tomorrow night. Is this a cowboy-style meal you're doing with
it is
Justin
not
LeBeau?
a cowboy-style dinner. It's going to be a couple things. I have a book coming out next spring about Italian dumplings. And if you go to Italy and you tell them I'm writing a book about Italian dumplings, they say, there's no such thing as an Italian dumpling, that's Chinese food. And so what I did is I redefined that pasta category that included things like gnocchi, but also all these other dumplings regionally based in Italy that are getting lost. So I'm going to make a dumpling called strozzopreti from Florence that I really love. We have beef tongue, we have a whole bunch of stuff, a lamb tartare, it's going to be great.
There are various seatings, more information at breakfasttelevision.ca, but it is a 7-course collaboration dinner with Chef Justin LeBeau at Model Milk.